This is an IMX294 based cool astronomy camera. Let's see how you get the best from it. Welcome to As the Astro. So IMX294 based cameras have been around for a long time, but they've always had one problem. When the camera switches to high conversion game mode, calibrating images can be a little bit challenging. There are quite a few videos and articles which show you a way to get around this by using long exposure flats. The only problem with doing that is finding a light panel which you can make dim enough so you can get those long exposure flats. We're talking 3 to 4 seconds worth. But what if I told you you could use this camera without using long exposure flats? Now, the reason for the problem with flat frames is when this camera enters high conversion game mode, well, it doesn't behave quite correctly. But if you adjust the gain slightly higher, you can get past the point where that gain problem is there. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to measure whereabouts the problem gain is with our camera, and then we're just going to make sure that any frames we take with it, be it lights, flats, darks, biases, are all used at that gain. And once you do that, you can take flats as normal. I have never taken long exposure flats with this camera. In fact, in the last session, my flats were 0.03 seconds long, and they worked perfectly well because this is the image behind me I took with it. So to measure the gain range, all we need is lots and lots of light. So I've got the sensor uncovered. We'll connect it to USB to the PC, and then we'll jump into Sharpcap. So here we are in Sharpcap. First thing we're going to do is connect the camera. So if you go to camera and select our SvBony SV405cc, it will connect to the camera. And as you can see, we've already got exposure time of 4 seconds. You can see the histogram there already, and you can kind of see the problem range there. But what we're going to do is open up the histogram, and you can see that even though it's a 4 second long exposure, not every single pixel is fully saturated, and that's what this little bit is here. Now we can see it better if we turn on logarithmic mode. So tick the box, and there we can see our problem gain. So what's happening is most of the pixels are being fully saturated, but there's a few which it thinks it's fully saturated, but it isn't quite. Now, if I drop below the 120 and go out of high conversion game mode, it immediately disappears. And that's what we want to get to when we're in high conversion game mode. So all we have to do is increase the gain. So we'll try, let's say 130 for now. 132. So let a full frame jump out. Now we can see that that's dropped a lot. If we put horizontal zoom on, we can zoom into that, and we can see it a little bit clearer. So most of it's gone. In fact, I was using this camera at a gain of 132 and didn't seem to have any problems, but I re-evaluated this quite recently, and it's nearer 140 when it completely goes. So we'll go a little bit higher. We'll go up to 138, and you can see we've got just the one tiny little speck there. Now that would probably be perfectly straightforward to use, but if I pop it at 140, you can see it is gone completely. So basically what's happening now is every single pixel is being saturated. Now you do lose a little bit of dynamic range with a gain of 140, but you should recover that back in the stack. And that's it. That's all we need to do. So all we need to do now is that anytime we use this camera and we want to use it in high conversion game mode, we just need to make sure we use a gain of 140. As long as we use that gain for the lights, the darks, the flats, and the bias frames, everything should be absolutely fine. Now this also goes for any IMX294 based colour camera. Now there's a bit of controversy if this also affects the IMX294 mono cameras, which have actually got a 492 sensor in them. I believe it does. Looking around on the Sharpcap forums, there are reports that it actually does. And I'll leave the links to the Sharpcap forum posts in the description, and you can take a look at why this is particularly happening. Okay, that's it. We've measured our problem gain range. We know just to stay at a gain of 140 when we're in high conversion game mode, and we won't have any problems at all. Right, I think that brings us to the end of this one. Please do all the YouTube like and subscribe stuff, and I will see you in the next one. Ciao for now.